Hey everybody, it's Nolan from Lightning Review. One thing I get asked pretty often is why I'm a Lightning fan. If you've ever seen my videos, it's obvious I'm not in Florida. I'm actually in Toronto. I've lived in Toronto for about 20 years. So why the Lightning? I'm not actually from Toronto. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. There's no local team in Saskatchewan. Everybody there just cheers for whoever that you want. A lot of Toronto and Montreal fans, regional fans, you know, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg. Or just whatever team was big the year that you started following hockey. Like if you grew up when the Red Wings were dominant, or you know, whoever your dad liked, you know, stuff like that. I wasn't a sports kid at all. My family was a sports family, but just for football. I never cared about football. I never really cared about any sports. But when around beginning of high school, my buddies and I would play video games like all through the winter because, you know, it's too cold really to do it very much outside. Foreshadowing. So we would play video games and we would rent different games, and one time we rented NHLPA 93, which was the Sega Genesis EA game, before the NHL took over the licensing for it. I didn't know any of the teams, I didn't know any of the players, and I wasn't good at video games. So regardless of what team I chose, I usually got my ass kicked in the games. But that game was the last one. They brought it back way later, but that was the last one for a long time that had fighting in it. And I figured out that if you had the player with the highest fighting rating, it didn't matter if you were good at video games or not, you'd win the fight. So we all went through the rosters and found the teams that had fighters. You know, the other guys in my group picked good teams because they wanted to win. I wasn't going to win anyway because I suck at video games. So I found the team that had a lot of fighters, and Tampa Bay had a lot of fighters. They had Basil McRae and Mike Hartman, who both got traded in the inaugural season. And they also had Tim Hunter, who I think they took in the expansion draft or something, but he never played in Tampa Bay, but he's tough, right? So I would put like Anatoly Semenov on the ice with McRae and Hartman. Semenov would sometimes score, and the other two guys would just get in fights. And that just became my team. Like, end of year sale, I ended up buying a jersey. You know, I bought a hat. The next season, we all, like the whole group of us, started following the NHL religiously just because of this video game. We all had our teams. We all ended up picking teams through the video game. Like, one guy, Brent, became a Red Wings fan. Brad became a Sabres fan. Like, it just worked out like that. And yeah, we, like, suddenly every Saturday night we're watching Hockey Night in Canada. We're playing road hockey in between periods. Like, it just went from 0 to 100 with us. And even though they all kind of moved on to whatever their other interests were, I stayed an obsessive hockey fan, and I put all of my focus on the Lightning every year. Like, just memorizing the roster and writing it in my notebooks at school, you know, stuff like that. Even though there was really, really very little media coming from Tampa Bay up to Western Canada. Like, you'd see 7 or 8 seconds of a highlight in the sports package on the news at night. I started reading the hockey news in the high school library because every team got a little column. So I'd read the little square of text about whatever was happening with the Lightning that month. But it never wavered. Like, even when I moved overseas, like, from time to time, I was off doing other things, I would always be following, how are the Lightning doing? What's going on? Like, did they win? Did they win? Did they win? Barely ever seeing or hearing games. Like, really, really rare that I could actually watch a Lightning game. Internet age now, I see them all, which is wonderful. What a gift, my God. And that's it. So, how did I become a Lightning fan? Video games. So, if you have any questions for me, ask questions. I love this. All right. Have a great one. Take it easy, guys.